Then I will go to, okay. Now you have already submitted your work. Then I will go to, thank you, Eric, for live streaming us. We shall start. Let me just show them this one. Now you have already finished to submit your work. You remember the name, the one who submitted science. So as a teacher, I will come here and open this one. You see, 2 people have already submitted. When I click on them, I will be able to see, okay? Okello Amos. You see Okello Amos has already submitted. And then Amanda also has submitted. So when I open Okello Amos here, yes, I will be able to see. They are saying no grade because I have not yet marked. So once I mark it, you will see the grade, okay? For example, the one you did last time, for those who submitted their work last time, I want to show you, okay? This science activity 4, they are here. Science activity 4, you can see, okay? 35 people are already marked. Are you seeing that? 35 people. You see, I don't know whether your name is here and you are seeing it that it is marked. Let me go to, do we have Bukiria Patrick? Okay, I see David Bereket has just submitted. That one is not yet marked. Okay, so for those who have submitted late, you see that your work is not yet marked. But for those who submitted early, you can see that your work is marked. So that is what we do. So make sure that you submit your work, just like the way I've been showing you previously, okay? So you make sure you submit your work. So otherwise, thank you. These ones who want me to rename them, I will rename you as we start, okay? You just send me in the chat there that you rename me, I will be able to rename you, okay? Somebody say, teacher, I can't see my marks. Susan, I need to know which marks you are talking about, and then we shall be able to. I will involve you as we continue. Yeah. So towards the end of the lesson, I will still come back and show you how to submit your work in Google Classroom. But for now, let's have an opening prayer for now. In case you are ready to pray for us, you can raise up your arms so that you lead us into the opening prayer. Okay, so let me go to Jasmine to lead us into the opening prayer. Yes, Jasmine, you're welcome.
Yes, teacher.
You're welcome.
Let's humble ourselves and pray. Oh Lord, we thank you for the gift of life. We thank you for our parents. We thank you for our teachers that are teaching us. We thank you for this lesson. We pray that you can lead us to when we are writing, when we are learning. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen. Thank you. Okay, so that is good. Joanina, is Joanina the one who is called Joram? Joanina?
Teacher.
Yes, you are the one, eh?
Yes, not Joanina.
Okay, let me rename you. Okay, so members, I will do this, but let's try to once you have the name already, it's okay. Whatever name you have there is okay. It's maybe only that when you are using the name of the phone, that's when we can rename you. But if you're having the name for your sister, also we need to teach you how you can rename yourself. Eh? Yeah. Okay, so members, thank you so much, Jasmine, for leading us into the opening prayer. I would like to welcome all of you this afternoon for the lesson that we are going to conduct right now. This is Edify e-learning project, where every child deserves to learn and flourish. This project is fully sponsored by Edify Uganda and organized by Christian School Owners Association implemented by ICT Teachers Association of Uganda. So ICT Teachers Association of Uganda are doing a lot. First of all, you can follow the lessons on YouTube. That is from the ICT department. Even the Zoom lessons that is moving on right now is also from ICT department. So we thank this organization so much for this innovation. So therefore, this is primary 4 for there are those ones who are joining and they keep asking, teacher, which class is this? So this is primary 4, and we are going to have this subject called science. This science is going to be presented by Akenya Tonny, is my name. This is our lesson 5 so far according to this program. So what we are going to discuss today is thread worms. We started looking at the intestinal worms. We talked about 4 intestinal worms. We talked about tapeworms, hookworms, and now we are going into thread worms. Okay, so that's what we are going to discuss right now. So basically, we need to know the date today. So the date today is Wednesday, 6th, 2021, October. So let us first of all begin with what we looked at. Maybe basically I will bring in that what we looked at in form of revision, in form of doing correction, okay? In form of doing correction is what we are going to discuss right now. So let us first of all go through these numbers that we learned last time about hookworms. So our first question was this. I want a child of P4 to read that question. Yes, Joram, can you read that question?
Give 2 ways hookworms. Give 2 ways how hookworms is
Yes, that give 2 ways. Give 2 ways how
hookworms is spread.
Yes, so that is a wonderful reading from Joram. So I need people to give me 2 ways, just 2 ways how hookworm is spread. Just 2 ways, okay? Yes, Jerry, can you give us one, Jerry? Yes, Jerry? Oh, Joanita Kaka, can you give us one? Yeah, so members, I'm trying to call most of you just quiet. So last time we said hookworms are spread through the skin when we walk outside without shoes or sandals. That is 1. They asked for 2. Another answer that I expected from you, also hookworms are spread through eating contaminated fruits and vegetables. So when you eat contaminated fruits or vegetables which are having hookworms, you take it inside your stomach and then they will feed on your stomach and then they cause a lot of problem. Yes, so I saw somebody asked, yes, the teachers are always saying every child deserves to learn and flourish. There is a child who asked, what is flourish? Okay, what is flourish? There is a child who asked that. So yeah, basically when you talk about flourish, is like to develop like in a healthy way, in a godly manner. So that is basically what to be successful, okay? To be successful, to develop in a godly way, to grow in a healthy or vigorous way, okay? So especially as a result of what they are doing for you in the environment. So that is why Edify wants you to have that healthy way of developing, goodly way of developing. Yeah, so let's come back to our correction. So the next number is suggest any 2 signs of hookworms infection. One, we said we have diarrhea, and also we said loss of weight is also another one. So these are some of the expected answer. Then the last question said, mention 2 ways of preventing hookworms infections. How do we prevent? Now, we have seen how they are spread, how they enter our body, that when we eat contaminated fruits and vegetables, or when we walk outside without putting on shoes, and then you step on those dirty places, you can get hookworms. So therefore, to prevent it, one, you can eat well-washed fruits and vegetables. So when you get fruits like mangoes, you get like a apple, you need to make sure you first wash them thoroughly to remove germs. Okay, to remove those worms that may be on the outer cover. So you wash them to prevent hookworms. Then another one also, you need to put on shoes when walking on dirty places. So whenever you are going on dirty places, you make sure you put on shoes. So all this will prevent. Now, these are the answers that I wanted you to write for me. So therefore, this work that you are seeing on your screen, you will also find it in the Google Classroom, such that in case you have failed, you will be able to do the correction. Okay, you will be able to do correction. So let us now go ahead to look at the thread worms, because I said we are going to look at thread worms. That is basically what we are going to look at. Okay. So under thread worms, what basically I want you to know is, one, how are they spread? How are they spread? Because when we know how they are spread, we can be able to prevent. And secondly, in case you already have thread worms, they are majorly common in children. In case you already have thread worms, what are we going to do? Okay, what are the signs? How do I know that I have the signs? So we need to be knowing the signs of thread worms, and also even the symptoms. Okay, symptoms. So last time I said, when we talk about signs, sign is basically what you see, and then symptoms is what you feel. Okay, when you have hookworms, what are the symptoms? And then finally, we shall also look at the prevention of threadworm infection. How do we prevent thread worms? So that is basically what we are going to look at. Okay. So when we talk about threadworms are worms that are wide thread-like. Okay, they are like a thread, just like the thread that you use for showing your clothes. Okay, that is how they appear. That is the shape. Okay, so when we talk about threadworms, they are wide thread-like worms. They are very wide and they look like thread, the thread that we use. Okay, they live in the large intestines. Okay, they live in the large intestines, and their size, they are about 1 centimeter long. When you look at them, they are about 1 centimeter long. So this is how threadworms look like. But if I can give you the live threadworms, how they look like, and then maybe where they are found. Okay, if I'm to just give you straight away from here, if I type for you here, if I come here and say, let me try to get for you the threadworms. Okay, Then I say here thread worms, so that the children can look at the thread worms that we are talking about. Okay. Yes. Yeah, so this is the thread worms that we are talking about. This is how they look like. You can see the picture, the photo that I have put for you is there. So you can see this is a thread worms, okay? And they are saying their size is about 1 centimeter long, okay? They are normally found in feces, especially when a child poo-poos or when you go and defecate. For example, you can look at this. You can look at these feces here, okay? You can look at these feces here. You see, this is what they are calling the thread worms. They are in these feces, okay, in that nature. So therefore, this brings us to how are they spread? If they are in feces, how are they spread? Okay, so they are spread through fingers. For example, you see these young children, when they come and touch their feces, whenever they poop, they touch them. And at the end, again, they put it in their mouth. They use the fingers, they suck on their fingers. When you suck on your fingers, you may have these thread worms. And finally, you take it inside your body. So I said that where are they staying? They normally stay in the large intestine, okay? In the large intestine. I have ever shown you the photo of the intestines, okay? I've ever shown you the photos of intestines. Unless you want me again to repeat for you so that you can see where these thread worms live, okay? This is what they are calling the intestines, okay? Let me first rub this. Yeah, so when you look at these thread worms, they stay in the large intestines. And where is the large intestines? This is what they are calling the large intestine. This one is the large intestine, this one. So it is the part now that leads this food up to the anus here. So this is what we are calling the large intestines. So therefore, how are thread worms spread? How are they spread? Okay, let's go back and look at how thread worms are spread. Okay, so I hope you have seen the thread worms and where they live. They live in the intestines. Maybe another point that I will have to add for you here is when they are in your body, what do they feed on? They can feed on the food, the digested food that you have in your body. Because thread worms can also be called pinworms. So they feed on food that you have in your body, the digested food. Okay. Now, how are thread worms spread? How are they spread? We look at them in feces, that somebody can defecate it in feces. You can defecate the thread worms in those feces. So how are they spread? So they are spread through fingers. Okay, if you touch the feces and then at the end you take that finger without washing it to your mouth, you can eat these thread worms. So that is the only way how thread worm is spread. Okay, that's the only way how thread worm is spread. Members, how is thread worm spread? Yes, Jasmine, how is thread worm spread?
Through eating contaminated food.
It's not through eating contaminated food. It is through fingers. When you touch, you see, I showed you those the pictures, whereby if this is maybe the feces that we are talking about, here. Now,
Yes,
it may have, okay, it may have thread worms like this, okay? You may find in these feces, there are thread worms, okay? In these feces, there are thread worms. Now, normally when you touch these feces with your fingers, okay? When you come, you touch these feces with your fingernails or your arms here. So when you touch it, and then you put it in your mouth. That is how you will get threadworms. Remember that babies, when they normally touch feces and so on, and again they suck their fingers. So that is how they get threadworm. Even you as mature person, accidentally you can touch feces which has threadworms and you put in your mouth, then you will be able to what? To have the threadworms. Are you getting?
Yes,
So,
teacher.
yeah, it is spread through fingers with the feces to the mouth. And then from the mouth, you swallow it in your stomach because it stays in the digestive system, in the intestine. Okay? It
Yes,
stays in the intestine. I don't know how you call intestine in your language. How do you call it in your language?
Yes.
Evienda.
Yes.
So it goes inside there, and then it start affecting you. Are you getting?
Yes, teacher.
So that is how it is spread. So members, P4 members, have you got how threadworm is spread?
Yes, teacher.
Now, do you think we can easily avoid it? Do you think we can easily avoid it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we can easily avoid it. But before we avoid it, yes, before we avoid it, can we first look at the signs? Now, having swallowed it in your intestine, what are the signs of threadworms? Are you seeing that? Yes.
You have diarrhea.
That one said you can have diarrhea. Okay, another one.
Stomach pain. Stomach pain.
Now, by you know. Good. Mention them. Severe vomiting. Oh, I know some of you have crammed these signs and symptoms of these diseases. Now, what I want you to understand, because some of the answers that you are giving are also correct, but they are for symptoms. Because here I only wrote the heading as signs. So a sign is what you see. A sign is what you see. The first sign of threadworms, okay? The first sign of threadworms. You know, these threadworms, they live in the large intestine, and the large intestine goes up to the anus now, okay? Now, here, the first one is there is itching around the anus. Even accidentally at night when your anus is itching, you find you are scratching it, okay? You are scratching it because it is itching. You may even scratch it unknowingly, but it is very common in children, okay? And it might have ever happened to you people, okay? It might have ever happened to you. Have you ever suffered from threadworms? Members, have you ever suffered from threadworms?
No.
Yes. Me, teacher.
You have ever suffered? Now, have you ever experienced that itching around your anus? We are doing science. You don't need to fear when those are body parts, eh? Yes. So you find there is that itching. I know you know if I talk about itching, what do I mean? Yes. What's the meaning of itching? Itching. My body is itching. When you tell me, when you say me, will I know you? Okay. At least maybe you can give me your concern. Somebody said, for me, never, it has never attacked me. But somebody said, okay, teacher, it has ever attacked me. Okay, so you don't need to hide, okay? You don't need to hide. Okay, so that is one. Two, another sign. I basically have only two signs of threadworms. The next one, you can talk about loss of weight. because they are going to feed on the food that you have eaten. They feed on that digested food that you have eaten. So you are going to lose weight, okay? You will not have that weight. So there is loss of weight. Now, therefore, we also have some of the symptoms, what you feel in your body when you have threadworms, okay? Can you try to guess? Can you try to suggest, like Jacob? Those of Jacob, can you try to guess some of the symptoms of threadworms? Yes, Jerry. Yeah, I like people who try, because I see some people are trying it in the chat. Like Birunji Grant has said stomach ache. That is correct. Birunji, I'm going to write your answer. Okay. So one, Birunji said we have stomach ache. I can write it there. So you feel that stomach ache because it is in the lower, in your abdomen there, the lower part of your stomach. So you will have that stomach ache. Okay, let me first go to, is it Chalek or somebody like that, to tell me which name should I rename? My friend, which name should I rename? You have put the concern in the chat very many times.
We are two people, but there's one name.
Okay, which name should I put for the another one?
Celine and Charlotte.
Eh?
Celine and Charlotte.
And Charlotte.
Yes.
Celine, eh?
Hey.
Okay. Celine end with E or just N?
E.
Okay, like that. So thank you. Now, Celine, can you give us another symptom apart from stomach ache?
Vomiting.
But vomiting is not a symptom. You see, symptom is what you cannot see. For example, if your stomach is paining, do you see it?
No.
You feel it, isn't it?
Yes.
So when they talk of symptoms, talk about what you feel, but not what you see. What you see is the signs. For example, if you see that I'm scratching my, someone is scratching the anus, you are seeing it, isn't it?
Yes.
The inching of the anus, you will be seeing somebody scratching it. And then also the loss of weight. You can easily identify that, hey, you have lost weight. Why? What is happening? You normally ask. When you come back to school, you are going to tell your friend that you have gained weight because you are seeing somebody is heavy, somebody is fat. You get?
Yes.
So another symptom we can talk about is loss of appetite. You will not have that feeling that you want to eat food. Okay. So there is that loss of appetite. Okay, so you have loss of appetite, and maybe finally you can talk about restlessness. You cannot rest, the person will be restlessness. Okay, so these are some of the signs and symptoms. Now, majorly what I want you to know is, how is it spread? We said it is spread through fingers with the feces to the mouth. Then I want us to discuss, okay? I want us to discuss how I wish I can put you in groups so that you can discuss about the prevention, ways of preventing. How do we prevent? Then you come up with the answers. So for example, if you are there like 2, 3 of you, like Celine and a friend, Celine and a sister, I want you to discuss, okay? Then we have also other people who are like 2 or 3. Also, I want you to discuss. So let's discuss this prevention, okay? How do we prevent threadworms? How do we prevent threadworms? Yes, prevention of threadworm infection. Good. So try to discuss with your friend, but then also some people can give us answer, okay? I'm going to make sure all of you today participate, all of you, okay? Let me start with Gibson. Yes, Gibson, what do you think you can do to prevent threadworm infection? Gibson?
Stay from bad places, dirty places.
Gibson said, stay away from dirty places. Okay. You stay away from dirty places. Okay, that is also well tried. You have to stay in clean places. That is from Gibson. Elisa, so I said all of you will participate.
Yes, teacher.
Can you tell us one way of preventing threadworm infection?
By deworming.
Deworming, regular deworming. That is good. Deworming, you take some deworming tablet. Yes, Celine and a friend, give us yours.
By drinking boiled water.
By drinking boiled water. Do we get them through? Wait, do we get them through drinking unboiled water?
Yes.
We said we get them through feces with our finger. When you touch the feces, which has the threadworms, and you take it in your mouth, you swallow it, that is when you can get. Okay, maybe you can use water to do something else. Okay, let's hear from different people. I just want to hear answers from you. Prevention, yes, Nakato. Sorry, Nakato.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, give us one way of preventing threadworms.
By washing hands. After visiting the toilet.
Very good. Members, can we give this girl a very big hand clap?
That was very so much. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much.
So the girl said by washing hands. The girl said by washing hands after visiting the latrines or toilets. So whenever you visit the latrine or toilets, you make sure you wash your hands. So why do you wash your hands? Why are you going to wash your hands? Okay, can somebody answer that question? Joseph, can you answer that question? Why are you going to wash your hands? Nakatu said by washing hands. So why do you wash your hands? Yes. Yes, Joseph. Daniel?
Yes.
Yes, why do you wash your hands after visiting the toilet?
To clean the germs. To clean germs.
To remove, yes, you can say to remove germs.
To remove
germs. Very good.
Yeah.
So that is 1 point we have got. 1 point to prevent this threadworm. We need to wash our hands after visiting the latrine. And the reason why we should wash our hands is to remove germs, as Daniel has said. Very good. Let's go to Ogwal. Ogwal, can you give us another way of preventing threadworms? Ogwal? Yes, Ogwal. Yes. By
not touching.
You should not touch feces. But now the young children, they don't know. For them, they just touch. What do we do? Okay, but as mature people, as people who understand, you are not supposed to touch those feces. Okay, that is from Ogwal. Eunice, how about from Eunice? Eunice, you come on and give us another one. Yeah, we need to hurry up because I said I promised that all of you will be able to give me at least one. Yes, Eunice?
By using a latrine or toilet.
Very good, very good. Proper use of latrines or toilet. You need to use the latrines or toilet properly. Okay, you don't need to just. So members, also, can we give our friend flowers? Can we give our friend flowers? We shall give it to another person. We shall kill the mosquitoes from biting someone after giving the correct answer. Okay, I think Jasmine, you have ever participated, but anyway, I told everyone. Yes, Jasmine, also give us another way of preventing.
Yes, teacher.
Another way of preventing threadworms.
Teacher.
Yes.
Avoid touching on feces.
Avoid touching feces. That one also. It's okay. Very good. Okay. So, but people are many, we cannot finish all, but I thank you all. Do you all want to participate? Yes. Now, you give your answers. Yes, why, sir? Also give your answer.
Proper disposal of feces.
Very good. Proper disposal of feces. That as a result of using the latrine as well. Okay, so can we kill mosquitoes so that it cannot bite this wise here? He has given a very good point. Okay, mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes.
Some of you are not catching, some of you are not killing. Okay.
Closing prayer. I want to give
Okay.
the closing prayer.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so members, one, we need to wash hands after visiting the latrines. That is one. So whenever you go to the latrine or the toilets, the latrine majorly is this pit latrine, the one which has hole, and the toilets are these ones, which is water, which you use water after using it. So you need to use them properly. You need to wash your hands after that. And why do you wash your hands? Is to remove the germs. That is one. Two, remember when you keep your fingernails short, okay, keep fingernails short, because you remember we said it is spread through fingers with the feces to the mouth. But once you keep your fingernails short, you are going to remove the hiding places. Sometimes they can ask you, why do we keep our fingernails short? Or why do we cut our fingernail short? You cut your fingernail short to remove the hiding places for germs. Once you have long fingernails, germs are going to hide under your fingernails. And even if you wash your hands, still water may not be able to remove the germs which are under your fingernails. So you need to keep your fingernail short such that you avoid the hiding places for what? For germs or these worms. The next point is washing hands and bathing regularly. You need to bathe, okay? You need to make sure you bathe regularly and bathe well, okay? Because I told you that in most cases, these threadworms, they normally lay their eggs near the anus, around the anus. So you make sure you bathe, and even washing your underwears, okay? The underwears, the pants, the knickers, you make sure you wash them. Even the beddings, okay? Even the night dress, there are those dresses you put on while you are sleeping. So make sure you wash them clearly, okay? Wash underwear, night dresses, and beddings. So when I talk about beddings, I mean like the bed sheet, the one you use to cover yourself. I mean like the bed sheet, bed cover. You make sure you wash them. The pillow, okay? You wash them thoroughly. Why are you going to wash this? To remove the germs, to remove these worms. They stay around the anus. They lay eggs around the anus. Remember at night when you are sleeping, there is that inching of the anus. So you can scratch it, touch the beddings, okay? It can be in your underwear. That's why they are saying you make sure you wash the underwear properly. Okay. And then the last answer, someone talk about proper disposal of feces. You use the toilets properly. Do not allow children to just poo-poo everywhere, to defecate everywhere. Okay. So make sure you use the toilets, you use the latrines properly. How about with these young children? Yes, if they defecate, because for them, they may not be able to use the toilets properly. But once they poo-poo somewhere, once they defecate, make sure you remove and then you take to the toilet and you wash your hands properly. So these are some of the ways of preventing thread worms. Okay. So members, I just want to go through some of the things that we looked at to find out whether you can still remember. Okay. So this is where, again, I want your participation. So I want us to go through some of what we have been looking at. Okay. My question number one is, what have we looked at right now? What have we just looked at right now? Okay. Akoro, what have we just looked at right now? What are we learning, Akoro? Oh, there is Buruk. Is it Buruk? Brooke. Yes. Buruk, what have we just learned right now?
Yes, teacher.
Yes. What are we looking at?
Preventions of threadworm infection.
We looked at the threadworms infections. Now, how do we get threadworms? That is the question I want someone to answer. How do people get threadworms? If you know the answer, you raise up your arms. Okay. How do we get threadworms? Yes. So let me go to Sarah. You have been quiet today. Alit Sarah, how do people get threadworms? Alit Sarah? Alit Sarah?
Yes.
How do people get threadworms?
By playing in dirty water.
Okay, well tried, well tried. Okay, you see, we have just looked at it right now. How will you answer this question? Okay, any other person to give us that answer? Trinity? Trinity, how do people get threadworms? Yes?
Through feces and dirty fingernails.
People get threadworms through fingers with the feces, through fingers with the feces to the mouth. Can you repeat that? Through fingers with the feces to the mouth. Can you repeat that? So that is how people get threadworms. So another question is, mention any one sign. Tracy, mention any one sign of threadworm infection. Tracy, mention any one sign of threadworm infection.
Okay.
Yes, Tracy. Yes.
Yes, teacher.
Yes. Mention any one sign of threadworm infection.
Loss of weight.
Loss of weight. Can you say loss of weight?
Loss of weight.
And then also you can say inching around the anus.
Inching around the anus.
Those are the two signs of threadworm infection. Can you give me, Trevor? Trevor, give me any one symptom of threadworms. Trevor, any one symptom of threadworm?
Yes.
Trevor, can you give any one symptom of threadworms?
Loss of weight.
Oh, loss of weight, we have given it under signs. Now, how about under symptoms? What you can feel?
Loss of appetite.
Very good. Loss of appetite. And also we talked about stomach ache. Stomach ache. Very good. Okay. So that is basically what we have discussed. Then the last question is state 3 ways of preventing threadworms. Give 3 ways of preventing threadworms. Any other? Any person here to give us 3 ways of preventing threadworms? Okay, Mildred, can you also give us 1 way of preventing threadworm? Mildred, Angel? Yes, Angel, give us 1. 1 way of preventing threadworms.
By washing hands after visiting the latrine.
Very good. By washing hands after visiting the latrine. Why do you wash your hands after visiting the latrine?
To remove germs.
To remove germs. Very good. Millie, can you give us another one apart from washing hands after visiting latrine? Millie? Yes, Millie. Another way of preventing threadworms.
Yes, teacher.
Can you give us another way of preventing? By washing hands with the soap. Very good. You wash hands to remove. Thank you. Oh, there is someone here called Admin. Yes, Admin, give us another way. Admin. I hope your name is Admin. Okay. So let me see the answers here from the chat. Okay, let me go to Deborah. Yes, Deborah, give us another way. Deborah. Deborah. Okay. Yes, Deborah, can you give us 1 way of preventing threadworms?
Okay. Proper disposal of human feces.
Very good. Proper disposal of human feces. Thank you. Any other person? Any other person? Okay, let me go to Mukisa. That is the last person. And then, yes, Mukisa, can you give us another way of preventing threadworms?
Regular deworming.
Regular deworming. Yeah, so majorly these worms here, if you want to prevent them, you make sure you regular deworming. Thank you. Thank you, members. So members, I would like to thank you so much for paying attention in this lesson. And thank you so much for your participation. I want to just lead you to the assignment that you are going to find in the Google Classroom. These questions, you will find them in the Google Classroom under the assignment. How do we get threadworm infections? To mention any 2 signs of threadworm infection, where we talked about inching of the anus and inching around the anus and loss of weight. Then they're saying state 3 ways of preventing threadworm infection. 3 ways of preventing threadworm infection. 1, we said wash hands after visiting the latrine, keep fingernail short, proper disposal of human feces, and then wash underwear, night dresses, and bedding regularly. So you will find all this in the Google Classroom. And this is our Google Classroom code. You can find, if you are just joining, once it asks you to enter the code, you can just enter this number that you are seeing. Yes, so there were questions about, teacher, how do we join Google Classroom, or how do I submit work? Do we still need that question, or we can have a closing prayer? Okay. Yeah, so I think most of you can be able, because that was the first thing I was doing. The code is here. The code is here on the screen for someone who is asking the code for, and even is there. If you have the timetable, you can find this code there. Okay. Yeah, so, okay. Okay, this one is saying, how can I get the work? Okay, let me just show you that, and then we can close. Let me just show you how you can get the work. Okay, now if you want to get the work, in case you want to get the work, this is what you should do. Okay, if you are using the phone, you can have in your phone, make sure you have the Google Classroom app in the phone. But in case you don't have it, you can just go to Google and type Google Classroom. It will come on. So if you already have, for someone who said, how can I get the work? So if you already have, you click on that. Okay. So when you click on that, it will be able to open. Now, in this case, I'm going to open this work as a learner. Let me change to a learner. Okay. So I'm opening that class as a learner. Yes. Now, this is the class where this learner is studying, these 3 classes. But because the learner is now learning P4, then you come and, after entering the Google Classroom, you come and click on P4. Okay. So when you click on P4 class, you will find, if it is the computer, you will find here the stream, classwork, and people. The stream here is just like here, you see what is on the stream. Just like notification, whatever is here on the display. But the classwork is where you can find everything. So the child who said, teacher, how can I find the work? Let me try to get you so that I see whether you are able to see how can I get the work. Okay, but you, Alan, can you come on? Yes, Alan, can you come on? Alan?
Yes, teacher.
So you are seeing how, have you seen how I have gone to the classroom?
Yes, teacher.
Now you scroll down to look for the subject. For example, we have been learning science. We scroll down to science. Science is here. Are you getting that?
Yes, teacher.
Science is here. All the work we have been learning from the beginning, they are all here with their exercise. Now, in this case, if you want the classwork, if you want the notes, the note is here. The downer part here is the note. Are you seeing that? Let me try to highlight for you. This is the note.
Yes, teacher.
This is where you find the notes. So when you click on this note, you are going to be able to see all the notes the teacher has been putting. Okay, when you touch on it, you see lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, lesson 4, and today is lesson 5. So you click on lesson 5 like this, it will open. Okay, now lesson 5, you have opened it. You can download it. Okay, you can download it or you can copy. In most cases, when you download is better. Here, when you click here, they are telling you more action. Okay, or you can print, because this is the printer. You can print the work. Okay, so you can find here the work is already there. Threadworms. Okay, the teacher started with correction. You can also do correction. Then you come and copy the notes about threadworms like this.
Yes.
That is one. Two, how about the exercise? If I want to do the exercise, okay, this is the exercise for the thread worms that we have learned. You can also click on it like this. I see. So when you click on it, you can view. You can view, or you can touch on your name. You can click on your name because you will find your name there for the Google Doc. You click on that, it will be able to open. Now, when it opens, like for this person has already answered. So when you want to answer, you answer them. Like for example, I want to answer this. You first delete. Okay. This one has already answered. Request edit access. Yes, I'm requesting for edit access. Okay. Now I will be able to edit. Let me see. Okay. Oh, they are telling me to send to the owner. That is okay. That is okay. So when you open the work, you will be able to edit this work by first removing the dotted lines, and then you submit. Okay.
Yes, teacher.
Now, when I want to submit, I come to view assignment. You see, when you click on view assignment, you will see this, the word submit will be here. The word turn in will be here. Now, because this work was already submitted, that's why you are seeing unsubmit. If I unsubmit, meaning it will be removed. Okay, it will be Now it has come, the word turn in. I see. Yes, my friend, you were saying something, Alan?
Teacher, how can I send that work to you?
Yes, it is what I was showing you now. Here, you see the word turn in here?
Yes, teacher.
When you click on this word turn in, the work will come back to me. I see.
Yes, teacher.
When you just go there, you click on view assignment. When you go there, you just click on view assignment. Then when you click on view assignment, you will see the word turn in like here. Are you seeing?
Yes, teacher.
And then you click on, and then you will be able to turn in. Okay. Yes. So Alan, also now, can you give us the closing prayer?
Yes, teacher.
Yeah, you can lead us into the closing prayer and we end.
I thank you, Lord, for protecting us in this in this service and helping us all those who have been able to reconnect.
Oh.
To us and learn. Thank you for the life you have given us, Lord, and protecting us from this.